Can anyone be for Team Black or Team Green after this season?
How will we wait 2 years to pick up the pieces after the season finale?
Should Ormond have been paying closer attention when Ulf said they'll all burn?
We'll answer all those questions and more on this episode of
The Joffrey of Podcasts.
I'm very busy. Many important matters require a king's attention. I'm king now. King now. I am king. I am king. I am. Kiss it. I am. Kiss it again when I return. Your fingers or your king doesn't discuss your battle plan. He's one, but your fingers or your tongue. I am the king. I'm telling mother.
Welcome to the Joffrey of Podcasts. My name's Bubba, and with me, as always, is someone who, let's be honest, everything he looks at is ugly. It's Catfish.
Oh, Bubba, I'm so sad for you. Someone copied your strategy of using children as human shields. The secret's out.
We got to let them know. Listeners, we are going to be breaking down the season 3 finale, House of the Dragons, last episode for 2 years, episode 8, the Treasons, that's plural, at Tumbleton. Shifting alliances irrevocably reshape the war as Rhaenyra's forces converge around Tumbleton, and both sides vie to gain the upper hand. We're going to play our classic match games. We're going to talk about the highlights and the lowlights from Team Black and Team Green. We're going to pick up all the broken pieces. And Catfish, there are only 8 more episodes left. And are they going to break this bad? Catfish, what was your rating for the final episode of season 3?
Bubba, I didn't think this was possible until you broke the mold on another podcast.
Oh, wow.
But I'm going to go question mark out of 10, what we all know as triple H's.
Triple H's?
Yeah, triple H's are half-pint human hedges. They block the fire from enemies.
Yeah.
Just line them all up in a row and just do it, kids. You block it. Now, the reason why I can't give a rating, Bubba, is because I am so torn. There's the good. First of all, well, it's good and bad. Mysaria got the best deal of anybody in this whole show. Yep. Here's enough coin to set yourself up, a free trip to Pentos. And she's like, nah, I don't want it. Bubba, I will take this dang thing.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How does Queen Rhaenyra have any coin to really set Mysaria up? I think it's an IOU note, but sure.
I think she's got something, Bubba.
Okay. Let's go.
The wild men, most of them RIP. They do their version of the haka before the fight, Bubba. I love that. There are some great lines in this show. Rhaenyra, insolence runs in your blood. And then Helaena, shortly before she decided, you know what I need to do is I need to fly. Sans dragon, she decides to take a flight. But she says to Rhaenyra, all the things you care about are ugly. You're ugly.
Whoa.
And then the funniest, Aegon to Aemond, when he sees he's completely emotionally whipped, he says, no. I was supposed to enjoy this. And Bubba,
yeah,
I felt a little bit like Aegon. Like I was supposed to enjoy the season finale more. Is it wrong to say that I didn't feel that the complete power shift between Aegon and Aemond was earned and set up properly? Is it wrong to say that I was disappointed by a really, really good battle scene? Is it wrong for me to think that even so much happened that I felt like not enough happened? So, Bubba, I'm completely lost here on my rating. This is one of those times where I'm going to have to think about it some more. But so I'm just going to move on to you, Bubba. But what are your thoughts about this episode? Maybe you can help me decide which side to land on.
Let me tell you something. I don't know, Catfish. I'm worried that my rating is going to scare you. Because while I don't think really there was an epic high that I'm going to remember for 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of it. I'm giving it 9 triple D's out of 10.
Yes, of course. The triple D. Wait, what? Triple D's?
Dangerous Daenerys double. Rhaenyra is becoming Daenerys 2.0. Or because she's before Daenerys, she's a beta version of Daenerys.
Yeah, Daenerys beta.
Right. So now, listeners, you're going to think, and I promise you, there are going to be some quote unquote smart people out there who are going to write, who are going to talk, who are going to say, look at how House of the Dragon is showing us how everybody was cheering, Queen Rhaenyra, slowly becomes somebody you don't cheer for and somebody you fear, where the show Game of Thrones couldn't do it successfully with Daenerys. What I want you to realize, and I'm not defending anything, but there is a reality that George R.R. Martin wanted Daenerys to fight the White Walkers. And so the original Game of Thrones showrunners had this pull about, well, we know Daenerys is going to go really bad, but she also is going to be helping the good guys in the final season. And so they couldn't find the right mix. Guess what about Queen Rhaenyra? General book spoiler. She doesn't have White Walkers to fight. She fights her brother. So you don't have to keep her, quote unquote, too clean. And she is gone. I mean, you've seen the movie Gone Girl. She gone, girl. She is in a terrible place as she shuts those shutters on her dead friggin' sister. This episode had 50 minutes, it felt like, of preamble before the battle. I was engaged in all of it. Now, is there not a truly epic, soul-crushing moment as when, at the end of season 1, Aemond's dragon munched down on Luke and his dragon, and they were gone? There wasn't a moment that spellbindingly crazy, but this was a lot of great crazy, a lot of honest motivation. I mentioned it at the top. This episode is titled The Treasons, plural, of Tumbleton. Think of all the people who theoretically could have been committing treason. Almost everybody on Team Black, it felt like at times, was doing not what the Queen wanted in Queen Rhaenyra. And then you had Gwaine and Darren making side deals without letting Ormond in. This was crazy. Everybody trying to get the result they wanted, and nobody got the results they wanted. 9 out of 10. I did love it. There you go.
Well, let's be fair about this, though, Bubba. There was one person who we thought there is no way he's going to be able to please two separate people, and yet he did. Ulf used his dragon to roast some of the blacks as requested, sure. And he also used his dragon to roast some of the greens as requested. Bubba,
is it any reason to blame Ulf that he's colorblind?
No, I just could say Ulf definitely not treasonous. Did his job.
Guys, this is the final thing we're going to be talking about for House of the Dragon for 2 years. 2028, we want you with us, but that's why we want you to subscribe. Currently, we're breaking down Silo Season 3. Next month, this year, September 2026, we're talking about Marble Hall Murders, Slow Horses Season 6. In the fall, we should have Only Murders in the Building Season 6. We're going to have Babylon Berlin Season 5. In 2027. And Catfish, you put out a call last week to ask our great listeners if they want us to cover Neuromancer in January of 2027. What did the listeners say?
All right, let's see. So Shirley, our great loyal listener, Shirley said yes on Neuromancer. Yeah. Another great loyal listener, Gen X Cat Mom, said, please put me on the list of people who want you guys to cover Neuromancer.
All right.
And Dr. Dead Fink goes into more detail. Hell yes to Neuromancer. The inspiration for the role-playing game Shadowrun. Whoa. Now, we all know how Bubba likes to read the book so he can complain about what's wrong about the show. So, Bubba, you're also going to have to play this game Shadowrun before you do Neuromancer. And Dennis Christo says yes to the max on Neuromancer for Double P to cover. Bubba, are you sure you didn't hide any responses where they were like, please stop?
I'm telling Mother.
Those we're saving for the Joffrey of the week. So we're saving those.
Okay.
And speaking of King Joffrey, listeners, we have great news about His Grace, first in your heart, first of his name, number one, first in your heart. Game of Thrones actor Jack Gleason, who brought King Joffrey to life, is starring alongside a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms drunk targ Henry Ashton, actors in the new BBC series about Agatha Christie's main character called Hercule. Wow, King Joffrey. Joffrey can't be stopped, and neither can Jack Gleason. It's great to hear.
Yeah, and neither can Hercule Poirot.
No. Yeah, Kenneth Branagh couldn't stop him. Nobody can stop him. He keeps going.
I'm telling
Listeners, we've done it all season long, and I ask you every time, I want to know your favorite moment in this supersized episode. We love telling you ours. It's going to be the last time we're going to talk about great scenes for 2 years. Catfish, what was your favorite scene, best moment? What was the best thing in this episode?
Now, up at the top, I said I didn't think that the turnaround in Aegon and Aemond's relationship was earned.
Yeah.
But holy cow, Aegon's reaction when he realizes that Aemond isn't going to push back on him.
No, he's just sitting there.
His petulance and the power that Aegon was just like, oh, come on, make this fun for me, raid so that I can kill you, was just incredible. That was my favorite scene. The show wasn't featuring Aegon that much as a delicious half mustache twisting villain. They have leaned into it, and I'm here for it. That was my favorite scene of the episode, Bubba. So much fun. What about yours?
Catfish, you beat people up who read books. Look online. We need more people to read books. If you read books, go down to the comments and say, I read books. Ulf, we knew if you had read Fire and Blood, or if you just paid any bit of attention to the show, even if it was in the background, you knew Ulf was going to turn. But when Ormond and his right-hand man, bold Jon Roxton, are running through the city, has anybody seen Ulf the Dragon Rider? Ulf the Dragon Rider. Like, why didn't they have him in hand earlier? And then, this is not from the books. Ormond beating the crap out of Ulf, and anybody watching this is like, Ormond, what the hell are you doing? That's the one thing you can't do. And so it led up to almost the inevitable, where I wasn't sure what Ulf would do, but when he ended up burning both sides, I was like, of course, based on the character they've created, that is, of course, what happened. So the whole build up to Ulf, I thought that was the best thing in this episode. And I liked the whole episode as a whole, so that is it for me. Listeners, I'm going to ask one last time. I want to know your best moment. Go down in those comments on YouTube. Reach out to us on social media at PHQ and tell us.
I'm telling Mother.
All right, Bubba. Well, listen, this has been far too serious. So let's get to the match game. We've got a comment from last week's match game. I love it when our listeners comment on other listeners. Well, SMP said their favorite. They said this one got me for real good one when we were talking about Aemond
had two women, his mother and Alys, his girlfriend.
Right, one is for blank and the other was for blank, and SMP loved the one is for sex and the other is Alys. That was beautiful. Bubba, read the question, and I know I listened to the podcast, you cut me off on the full music last time. I know you're trying to make this podcast short, but our listeners are taking that time to come up with an answer. So let me just do it. I do it as quick as I can. So go ahead, ask the question.
With a sensitive nose, Sir Ormond Hightower fought in the smelly muck and mire in the Battle of Tumbleton. After the battle, Ormond's blank was also sensitive. With a sensitive nose, Sir Ormond Hightower.
Wait, you're doing it too fast.
I'm just repeating.
Wait till the bomb. People are listening and thinking of their answers.
On the match game, Gene Rayburn would just keep saying it. He was not afraid to keep saying it. So, all right, you ready?
Yeah.
With a sensitive nose, Sir Ormond Hightower fought in the smelly muck and mire in the Battle of Tumbleton. After the battle, Ormond's blank was also sensitive.
Upper intestine.
Catfish, there's so many possible answers. That was a very, very good one. That was a very, very good one.
Not just the lower, got all the way to the upper, Bubba. All right, Bubba, I'm going to read it, and then you answer the question. With a sensitive nose, Sir Ormund Hightower fought in the smelly muck and mire in the Battle of Tumbleton. After the battle, Ormund's blank was also sensitive.
His pants.
Oh my God! You know, this is hard for you. You come up with the question, and so then for you, it's like it's hard.
I also see everybody else's answers, and so I'm like, oh, that's good, and then at a certain point, I go, I cannot come up with anything that good. I give up. Okay, so you ready? You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
The listeners, upper intestines, Catfish, brilliant. Hamlet is dead. Said after the battle, Ormund's organs were also sensitive. Oh.
All right. And Pat Man said after the battles, Ormund's kidneys were also sensitive. Oh. And Bubba, get the bell ready because Camshay23 also said his kidney was sensitive.
Excellent work, listeners. Now, of course, you are trying to be anatomically correct with some of these. And so Orange Cane on Blue Sky said Ormund's brown nose home. Terrible.
Well, I think we're going to get some matches on that because Link Hogthrob said that Ormund's taint remains was also sensitive.
Oh, terrible.
And Nicole at Nightwolf Nim says that his poop chute was sensitive.
Oh, no. Uncle Q said his double R.
Double R?
Rectum rectorum. Was sensitive. And then S said, guess what he said? He said Ormund's recreational zone was sensitive.
Dr. Dead Fink says Ormund's honeymoon rhinitis was also. Caro Yoso, you know what? Caro Yoso says his gag reflex was also sensitive. No. Holy God. And look, Mr. Bill's Mafia comes in. You know, we're always
Hightower.
It's Ormund Hightower. So Mr. Bill's Mafia said that his lower tower was also sensitive. That is beautiful.
Oh, Celine on Instagram said after the battle, Ormund's derriere was also sensitive. That counts for me. And then this one is brilliant. On Instagram, somebody said, you know, I want to submit something, but don't say my name. Obviously, that is the correct answer. You don't want to be shamed. They said after the battle, Ormund's starry stepped and probably his high tower were also sensitive. Oh my God.
Beautiful, beautiful. You guys continue to provide the best content for this podcast. So thank you very much. So now, Bubba, I guess we get into the meat of it. We're going to run down. We're going to run down the teams, both of whom, as you said, we absolutely are rooting for after this episode.
Well, which of the two do you want to discuss first? Team Green, which lost Helaena and Ormund Hightower and a bunch of their men, or do you want to talk about Team Black, which lost a lot of their winter wolves, including Roddy the Ruin, who we've been focused on a lot, and certainly some of their dragon riders? Which one do you want to focus on first, Green or Black, Catfish?
Let's just go Green. Why not?
All right, well, let's go to the part that didn't see any characters die. We're in Harrenhal with Aemond, and Alys has saved him from poisoned. And Aemond says, you know, she poisoned me. You know, and Alys should have said idiot again. But instead, Alys is somehow touched in that she does a lot of freaky things with Aemond. But as Aemond is looking for a mommy figure, Alys, we learn her backstory, and she is looking for a son figure, Catfish. Way back when Aegon...
She might be looking for a great-grandson figure here, Bubba.
Yes. Way back when Aegon the Conqueror came to Westeros and this guy, Harren the Black, wouldn't surrender to Aegon. And so Aegon said, okay, I'll just burn your damn castle down. And it was like everybody thought Harren the Black's line was dead. But nope, there was one boy who survived for a little bit. His mother did a lot of things. You know, this is a classic story. You try medicine, you try this, and then you go to the dark arts. The boy didn't live, but the mom got cursed. Holy smokes, do you like this reveal of Alys, who we've been following since the beginning of season 2. She wouldn't reveal it to Daemon. She told Daemon she wanted Harrenhal, but now maybe she wants it because she's like, I'm trapped here for eternity. I'm going to have to keep serving these idiots who work here. Just give it to me so I don't have to be a servant anymore. Thoughts, Catfish, on Alys, the cursed Witch of Harrenhal?
Well, here's my question, though. She was like, we're going to make babies and rule from here.
Yeah.
I mean, is she can she have babies? Has she been cursed to just live, essentially without having to have any more children? That in a way is a curse if you stay the same age and you have to end up watching your children grow old and die.
Boy.
But I just wonder. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Seemingly, she wants Harrenhal, and at a certain point, she wants this man-child, Aemond, who is with her. But people keep coming and ruining their alone time. Last week, it was his mother. This week, it's his brother. His brother shows up, and Catfish, you've already described it perfectly. Aegon wants it. I mean, he wants it. Look at the hell I've been through, and it's pretty much because of this idiot's fault. I want to take out all my anger on him. And Aemond has just been so cowed. He's without his dragon. He's powerless. And he's pretty much giving himself up. There's no fun in that, man. There's no fun in that.
No, there's no fun. And Aegon makes a nice little swivel. All right, well, then I'm going to make you my little bee, and you're going to do what I tell you to do. Again, even though we had a little bit of this last week, I don't feel like we had enough prep for Aemond to have done such a turn. I was what?
They've both really changed from the beginning of the season, for sure.
Right, but we have seen, I feel like the storyline for Aegon has been really nicely fleshed out. And for Aemond, we've been covering him a lot too. It's only maybe in the last episode that we saw a little bit of guilt.
Yeah.
What did he do to his brother? And then in this episode, he's just completely just given up.
Is that how you react after your mom tries to kill you? like what did it take? I lost my dragon. I'm all alone. My mom tried to kill me. That's one way to fall. If you're Aegon, listen, you couldn't at least say, okay, I can't kill you. I need Vhagar, but I'm going to burn your hand. Like, don't you think there's something you can do? You got frigging dragon roasted. Holy smokes. And I know that you have heard, Aegon, you're a terrible person. And so that is always in the back of your mind, like, okay, I'm a terrible person, and maybe I deserve not quite this, but this. And everybody online always talks about the horrific, terrible things Aegon did in the first season. If somebody committed that crime in our real life, would you be okay with the punishment of, okay, they're going to be roasted alive by a dragon? I don't know. Has he really paid for his crimes? Yes or no? I don't say there's a great answer, but I think he's changed. As an outside viewer, I think Aegon has changed. Hopefully for the better, but with these boys, we'll never know.
No, I mean, I think it's funny because based on that question, whether I think he's paid for it, I mean, the only person that seems to have paid for what they've done and is truly sorry is Aemond. Again, even though I don't feel like it was set up enough.
Listeners?
I mean, if he had been maybe more with his mom, like I mean, I know he did tell her, but to have broken down even more in the previous episode, I'm just so shocked. You weren't a little bit like when this interaction happened with Aegon, you weren't a little bit like, whoa, this is Aemon's a lot lower mentally than I thought he was, like a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. I guess the character, even when he was quote unquote riding high, like in the middle of season 2, he has, before he roasts his brother, he has killed his nephew in Lucerys, and you saw him with Sylvie, the brothel madam, in it, and he was like tortured then. And so I guess I've always seen
I understood, but after he burnt his brother,
yeah,
he could have been like, oh man, that's really not the thing to do. But instead, he was going to Aegon's bedside and being like, oh, yeah. I'm going to deliciously finish the job after you suffer a whole much more. So for him to have these feelings, for him to go from like, gosh, I'm starting to think I did something wrong, to like totally debasing himself in front of his brother, felt like a bridge too far for me, and really made me go, what? Even as I was enjoying Aegon being like, you spoiled my revenge.
Well, I'm going to leave this up to the listeners. Once again, we got 2 years to talk about this. Admittedly, we'll be talking about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms Season 2 in 2027. So, boy, wonderful, wonderful. That's all I can say. Let's get to Tumbleton. And in Tumbleton, admittedly, this is the Team Green report, but we're really going to combine everybody who was there and break it on down.
Okay.
In the tapestries, I think it was supposed to show the Mutin forces from last week that Aegon roasted, but when I saw the tapestry in the opening credits, I thought, that shows the Winter Wolves burning, because the Winter Wolves logo is kind of more gray and black like the Stark logo. But anyway, it opens up with Ormond reading a scroll. I believe, even though we're never told, I believe that might be a scroll that said, hey, King Aegon is alive. Either way, he doesn't care. He's happy right here at the beginning, and he knights his cousin, once removed, Darren, as king. And this, we've seen a lot of scenes of people being knighted. This, to me, really felt like new words, where he was like, and you'll follow and you do what you're told. And I was like, whoa. And Darren swears it. Are you happy that Darren is a knight?
As far as many of the knights that we've seen in the Game of Thrones world, he seems honorable than at least 2/3 of them. So yeah, sure. Let him be a knight.
We cut from this scene to Ulf, who is a knight, who's already been knighted, and he's in his feels. He's hanging out with the common man in the kitchens. The Queen of Bastards' armies are at the gate, and leading them to the gates will be her uncle. No, her lover. No, her husband. He doesn't think Daemon's going to use his dragon, because Rhaenyra's got Daemon on a short lead, like a bitch in a kennel. Whoa! The rogue prince will soon quake before the mighty and terrible Lord Ulf the White. Oh boy. Oh, boy.
Bubba, I feel like he would have gotten a better reception if he was in King's Landing, even though in King's Landing that all would have been treasonous, because all these guys are like, you're great. You go buy another round or what?
Right. The army's outside our gate. They're coming here to kill us. Let's joke. We leave that, and then we go to nephew Darren and his uncle Gwain's Statler and Waldorf routine.
You mean Knight Darren, please.
Oh, Sir Darren. Good point. I call him Statler and Waldorf, though, because it's like, Darren, how will we face them all? Gwain, bravely and pointlessly. Darren, something's wrong. Gwain, yes, we're all going to die.
Now, Darren does want to ride on his super tiny baby dragon, and at least he gets convinced out of that, because that would then, instead of Darren the Daring, they would have had to call him Darren the Dumb.
Yeah. How do you think Ulf would have reacted to somebody else, even a little person coming up on him? I mean, oh boy. And Gwain is he's like, we got to stop this somehow. They go to Corlys. They very briefly try to bribe Corlys. Corlys ain't hearing it. So Gwain takes Corlys out, and he tries to sue for peace. Catfish, is there any way this could have worked? Or is it like Corlys said, Daemon, you don't care about a victory so much as you care about dead high towers littering the field. Whoa.
Yeah, but I don't.
Well, say
I
it.
mean, he's triple D here, deeply dumb. Daemon, yes, take the bloodless victory. Take the victory where none of the people who live there are going to get hurt, which is exactly what you want, especially when they start putting children up there. I
Oh my
mean,
God.
hello. You want to, I mean, you talk about, and I agree with you that Rhaenyra is going a little kooky, but it doesn't help when person who's supposed to be on her side is like, well, you know what? The whole reason we decided not to attack in the first place was because we didn't want innocents to die. So, yeah, but you know what? Oh, I can get everything I want, but innocents won't die. Let me take the innocents will die part. So, Daemon, very,
Oh my
very
God.
responsible
Yes.
for this part of things going bad.
There was, we're talking about a show which gives you all emotions. I did laugh when Roderick Dustin, aka Roddy the Ruin, he's told, "Hey, you're willing to die, right? Go up the ladders, open the gates, then you can die." And Roddy's like, "Aye, gate open, then die." Roddy happy. Let me ask you this. This is probably an easy answer. Cat, Hugh's wife. Did you know going in, Catfish? Because on last week's podcast, I asked you, well, who do you think's going to bite it in the season finale? And you correctly picked Ormond. Did you know, watching the show, that Cat was not long for this world?
I didn't. It should have made sense. You asked me again yesterday before the show, and I said I thought a dragon rider would die, so I picked Adam as the dragon rider would die. I picked Ormond to die, and then I said 50-50 on Daemon only because I thought someone big should die, not just a baddie that really only came to power this season, Ormond. I thought someone big should die, but then I realized it could be Daemon, but it's just so tough because without Daemon and his dragon, it really feels like it's just it just puts them in two uneven position, the green and the blacks here.
I think that's a good call. I think that's a good call. Listeners, did you have a premonition of Cat biting it, of any other characters like Daemon going? Let us know. Daemon, so this episode is called The Treasons at Tumbleton. Do you consider what Gwaine and Darren did behind Ormond's back offering this deal? Do you consider that treason?
I mean, no, I don't consider it treason because in reality, it was like Ormond was like, yeah, you could be king as long as I tell you what to do. If Darren's going to be king, he should be able to make the decisions. And so I don't consider that to be treasonous. I do like, however, that Ormond finds out about it before he gets his. I mean, Ormond just takes a bunch of, he takes like 2 L's before he dies, right? He's like,
yep.
Ulf, can't find Ulf. Then he beats Ulf, which causes problems. He finds out about Daemon and Gwaine going against him. And then he finds out what it's like to have your upper intestines tickled by the tip of a knife. And then for real, before he dies by the very thing that he hates, which is dragons.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say bad smells.
Well, he got that before too, right? He took about 5 L's before the ultimate L.
Are either Corlys by pitching these, terms, or Daemon by rejecting them and telling his troops, "I don't want the best of you, I want the worst. Go now and kill them." Were either of those treasons? Meaning, Daemon really, really, not until the end of the episode, was really heartbroken about a bunch of probably innocent townspeople dying. Corlys, is it treason that he was negotiating with the enemy behind the queen's back? I mean, she's not there, but
I mean, I didn't get that, and sometimes I'm taking notes. I'm not maybe paying as close attention to you, I thought Corliss was essentially saying, here's the deal they're offering. I think it's a pretty good deal. So that's not like treasonous. That's just saying, I agree with their deal. It makes sense. It's easy. Maybe it's because I agree with Corliss that it's the smarter thing to do, but it's not treason. He's not going behind Daemon's back. He's saying this is the deal they're pitching, former hand of the queen. I think it's a good deal.
Okay.
Your choice, Daemon.
Is Roddy treasonous because he says blades out, bellies in? Because he's making everybody suck in their stomach while they run into battle. Let the bellies hang out, Roddy.
Well, you know what? It's funny, Bubba, because it reminded me of something. Is that, I've been taking these boxing classes and sometimes do light sparring. And Bubba, when I defend myself, I end up, for some reason, putting my belly out. That is not good if someone's striking towards you to put your belly out.
Oh, okay.
So I agree. Keep the bellies as far back as possible so they won't be penetrated by knives.
Well, how about, was Roddy treasonous when he said, I see your arrows, shoot some arrows, and the guy right next to him got killed because he shoots some arrows?
That was just hilarious, Bubba.
Were the kids treasonous because they were supposed to stand in front of the gate and they all ran when they saw Caraxes?
Bubba, they are not on that team. The kids were not treasonous.
I'm going to find some treason. Hold on. How about this?
Yes.
Is you treasonous because he left the dragon pit and came to save his wife?
Well, let me ask you this. What was he doing in the dragon pit? Waiting for...
The idea, I guess, was, okay, Aegon's back. If he comes to King's Landing, where would be one of the first places he might go? He might go, park his dragon in the dragon pit. And so I guess that was her thinking. Is it treasonous to give up that post?
I think it is treasonous to give up that post if you are the only one dragon protecting the city. I mean, I guess it's treason if you just disobey the queen's dumbass orders. So sure, that was treason.
How about the little kid who hit Roddy the Ruin in the back of the leg and then got an axe to the face? Was Roddy treasonous for killing a kid when he had just been told, hey, this reflects on the queen's, reflects on the queen what you did? Or was the kid treasonous because he didn't keep hitting? All right.
You know what? I used to be a little hard on my niece when she was kind of whining. And I would say, you know what? That was just one of Uncle Catfish's life lessons. So he just gave that kid a life lesson and also a death lesson.
Well, he remembered that lesson for as long as he lived, which was that moment.
And he gave the other kids life lessons. Don't hit anybody don't hit people with swords in the legs with a club.
All right. How
or
about
a stick.
Ulf? Is what Ulf did before he did his treason, was him just drinking and falling asleep on the crapper? Was that treasonous? That he wasn't prepared for this battle? Treasonous. Was that treasonous?
Ulf did double treason. I mean, it's like he could pick a side. And then he just said, I'm on Ulf's side, not considering that, in the end, whoever wins these greens or blacks, they're coming after you next. I don't know where Ulf is going to go.
No way. He did an Uno reverse card. Here, I'm going to burn the riverbed. Reverse. Now I'll burn the greens in their city. Oh my God.
Ulf's version of a pox on both your houses was, take this too.
Oh boy. How about Jon Roxton? They call him Bowl Cut. We call him Brazos because that's who he played on the show Andor. He has really not had much of anything to do this season. He's here for one reason, apparently, to go mano a mano and kick Daemon's ass. I loved him beating the hell out of Daemon. Oh my God, hell yeah.
It was good. This is when I thought my 50-50 on Daemon, where I hedged, I thought, all right, this is I shouldn't have hedged. It could be Daemon. It should have been Daemon. This is again part of all my disappointments with this season finale is who died. Who died? Who died that was big before this season? Who died that we've been following the whole time? Helaena.
That's true. True.
What was she? What part did she have in the battle? Just the embroidery part.
Well, true. That's true. But what her death really, to me, was almost to say more about the Dragon Queen Rhaenyra. Like her death was about Rhaenyra, about how far Rhaenyra's gone, what she's willing to do.
But what I'm saying is, if people would say, "Hey, you can't say that nobody major died," Helena's been in the show from the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah, but not as anybody who was actively involved in the fight between the Greens and the Blacks. What is her death going? Is her death going to cause somebody? I know we're talking about whatever, but is her death going to cause someone to do something that they weren't already going to do? Well, the answer to that is no.
Well, hold on. Here's what I've heard people online say. Is what they have said is that her mother, Alicent, we always include her in Team Green, but kind of everything she's done this season has been to benefit Queen Rhaenyra so she could escape, meaning she let the city go to Queen Rhaenyra real easy. She keeps threatening to kill her son. She poisoned her frigging son. And she's done this. Admittedly, her real goal is to escape with Helaena and her grandchild.
Correct.
But will Alicent ever... Alicent, I mean, to be honest, it's ridiculous that Alicent was doing all this, but Rhaenyra's lost everybody. I mean, Rhaenyra's destroyed her own team. If Alicent returns to King's Landing, which you would assume she would, what's she going to do when she finds out what's happened? You know, I did this so you would let Helaena and I escape, and now she's dead. Even if Rhaenyra says, you know, she caused her, you know, Helaena did this herself. Why would Alicent believe her after her forces chopped off the head of Helena's firstborn son? I mean, so
but I understand that. But okay, so let me just push back on what you said. So my original question is, what is Helena's death going to make somebody do that they weren't already going to do? And your only answer was Alicent, who has not had a lot of, let's face it, people barely listen to Rhaenyra because she's a woman, but she's the queen. What can Alicent do?
Well, it's what she'll stop doing. I just mentioned Alicent has done a lot of things, which it's not her set goal, but that have helped Rhaenyra. Here's another person who's been doing things that help Rhaenyra, who will no longer ever help Rhaenyra ever again.
Right. Well, I just don't know what else she could do to help Rhaenyra. I mean, she's not getting close to Daemon.
No.
I'm saying she's not getting close to Aemond again. Aemon's going to tell Aegon she would never get close to them again. Yep. They've already got their plan irrespective of her. The only thing I can think of is Mysaria, for some inane reason, is still in town, and maybe she could hook up with Mysaria and cause some problems. But to me, unless Alicent does something, is powerful enough to do something that she wouldn't have done if Helaena had lived, Helena's death is not a big enough death for the end of season 3.
I disagree, listeners. I want you to go in. How about this? Once again, let's ignore her death. Did you not find it horrific that Rhaenyra told her men to treat Helaena that way and force food down her throat? Like, this was, holy smokes, hideous and ugly.
Bubba, that baby needs you're trying to save the baby. That baby needs some porridge.
In a real world scenario, I could see this. In this, where it feels like Rhaenyra really doesn't care about the baby, she doesn't want to lose a dreamer who can tell her that her path is righteous. That's the way I saw it. I didn't see it as, oh, I want to save the baby. I saw it as, you're a dreamer. You're not giving me anything. You're telling me stories about beetles who live off dung, right? I need a sign. I need a sign that I am the rightful ruler and everything's going to be great. I woke up this morning and I got the sign that my quote unquote dead brother has arisen from the grave. And not only that, so is his dragon. To be honest, if it just really shows how far Rhaenyra has fallen, I think it's a powerful death.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to think about where Rhaenyra looks at that needlepoint? Helaena had stitched herself falling from the tower, but she had also stitched Rhaenyra in armor sitting on the Iron Throne and what looks like red thread, aka blood, all around her. If you're Rhaenyra and that's, you see that, do you think, oh, this is great, that's me on the Iron Throne the way it should be? Or do you think, why is all this blood cutting? Am I just going to get cut? Any thoughts about that?
I mean, what she has to think of is, this is just a warning. I got caught once already on the Iron Throne. I just got to be more careful when I sit on it.
Right. Wear armor. You're less likely to be cut. I thought some of these lines were great. There was this line of Helaena telling her, our father would hate you for this. And Rhaenyra, who has been saying F my dad Viserys earlier in the episode, snaps back, and yet he did nothing to prevent it. Whoa. All right, listen, we need something fun after all this ugliness. And we know that there's one character who's super fun, and that's His Grace King Joffrey. Catfish, are you ready to name a Joffrey of the week?
I'm telling Mother.
Well, Bubba, listen. Here's the thing, right? We always talk about on this show that a lot of what this shows is, of course, we're interested in, like, we take sides among the kings and the queens and the lords and etc. But that for the common people, it doesn't really change.
No.
Whether these battles are pointless, kind of, and that what you have to do, like King Joffrey, is when you see an evil like cats all through King's Landing, or it doesn't matter where the evil is, you have to take it out. So for taking out all the evil in this episode, or most of the evil, as much as they could, it's Ulf. for basically saying, but Ulf is it's peace through power. Essentially, Ulf is saying,
you were out in the wilderness and you found.
I'm gonna end this fight.
Sure.
Right now. By killing most of the soldiers. That's and so look, protecting the innocents. That's Ulf protecting the innocents and fighting for injustice wherever he finds it. Ulf, you're my Joffrey of the week, Bubba. You can't do better than that. But
I will. I know. Listen, did you watch the episode? What do we know about His Grace King Joffrey? At his wedding,
a lot.
He faked his death and disappeared. Nobody knew that he went to go find the real usurpers. After the battle, where did Darren go? He was right next to Gwaine, and then Gwaine wakes up in the ashes, and he's like, Darren, where is he? Darren is off hunting the real usurpers, just like King Joffrey. Way to go, Darren the Daring. You are my Joffrey of the week.
How dare you? You know what also, first of all, shame on both of us. There was an actual Joffrey in this episode who didn't speak.
But he learned a whole lot, didn't he?
He did learn a whole lot. He did learn a whole lot. Speaking of people who learned a whole lot.
Joffrey, he was dressed to the nines. Did you like that outfit he had? Good work.
I love it. Just like Joffrey, he's like, man, there's a lot of fighting going on. Best I stay out of it. All right, Bubba.
All right, Team Black. They had a rough week.
Team Black, let's do it. Everybody had a rough week.
Well,
I'm telling Mother.
After the latest Trump jobs report, Massaria, like everybody else, is out of a job. Catfish, did you see this coming? She was just being intimate with the queen last episode. One day later, and she's getting a pink slip? Whoa.
Also, this is also something. I mean, I know we've got a lot going on, and this is a season finale, but give us a line, a sentence, a something to tell us why she got sent out. As I said last week, they already dallied around a little bit, so I don't understand why Mysaria is being sent away. It seems as if, Rhaenyra did say last week, you're in one ear, Daemon's in the other ear, blah, 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 blah. But there's no reasoning for this. And even worse than having no reason for this is Mysaria's like, this place is an effing mess. But you know what? Even though I lost my job, I'm going to hang around. Bad idea.
You are 100% correct on that. Terrible idea. What I would pitch is kind of, Catfish, you were just saying it. She had two people in her ear. One, think of the small folk, Mysaria. One, let's just go kill a bunch of Hightowers, Daemon. She woke up in the morning, found out Aegon was still alive, said, okay, enough is enough. I'm going with Daemon's way. And so she won't get in my ear and try to talk me back to my dad's way and think of the people way. I got to get her out of here so I can just friggin' burn this.
I know, but you forget about
right. It is not clear. In fact, I thought at first maybe she's like, well, I have to prove myself to the gods, and cheating in my marriage is not proving myself to the gods. And that might have been the reason at first why she got rid of Mysaria.
I don't even know.
Very cold.
I mean, look,
very cold.
Even if she made it clear last episode, even if she didn't want Mysaria in her ear, she wanted her in her.
Okay. Oh boy, that's the type of editable content that you tune to the Joffrey of Podcasts for. So Mysaria was getting, dumped and then not leaving town like she really should have. What about Alan? Alan, to me, in this episode, hitched his wagon to the cray-cray queen. The Velaryons, the people know that Corlys has been kidnapped, and so these people committed to Corlys's house show up, and they're like, hey, we're here. How do we get in the plan to rescue him? And Alan's like, Lord Corlys knew what he was getting into. No rescue. And you better not question me because I'm the once and future Lord of the Tides. Dude, you haven't been legitimized yet. Holy smokes. And then his brother Adam's telling him, hey, have you paid attention to gray stuff that's going on? Bela, the girl that you apparently like, has been grounded and locked. And Alan doesn't care. He's willing to kill the damn Sept. Holy smokes. Is Alan joining the people you can't celebrate and root for? Whoa.
Well, I will say that, we'll see how it shakes out. But after he does it, there is a moment on Alan's face like, this was a bad mistake.
The Arrested Development, I've made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, God. There seems to be an issue between them now. Look, does Alan want his father back? No, because he's got the power now too. But pretty soon he might find himself the next day sent to Pentos with some gold and enough to buy a manse.
It'd be nice. Where's my gold? I'll leave town. I mean, did you see the hilarious looks Torrin Manderly and Maester Orwyle make during Rhaenyra's, hey, the gods have said I was coming before the doom they've been prophesized. And they were looking at each other like, I could use enough gold for a manse later.
Right.
I want to get.
Well, I will say this about Torrin Manderly. He's looking like, you know what, after this speech, I may not be the one on the hot seat.
Let's get to some of these earlier lines because Rhaenyra is so crazy. She's whining to Daemon about Aegon being alive and his dragon being alive. And she has these lines that I wrote that I just thought are so crazy. After all for which I have sought and suffered. Like somehow Aegon coming back to not being dead is somehow not justice because you have suffered and sought so much. effing Viserys. He put me here. His prophecies pushed me again and again, and I've met its every challenge. I got to be honest, Rhaenyra, I don't think you've met every challenge. Oh, my goodness. You will attack Tumbleton, go house to house, root out every high tower, and kill them all to the last man. The realm is watching. Boy, this is like conflicting things, right? Kill them all. Don't kill the innocents. The realm is watching. Do not make a monster of me. That last part didn't really work out too well. Oh, and she's gonna kill her brother Aegon. Oh my God. How many siblings? I guess she has 3 brothers, 3 half brothers left. Whoa. And then how about her scene with Baela? Cray. But did you respect Baela for talking truth to power, or were you like me, like, Baela, I can't just believe you said, oh, it was your fault. Oh, God.
Yeah, no, I don't know where my double should have been. It should have been a triple B for the blossoming balls of Baela, because I was surprised that Baela really, really pushed Rhaenyra. Again, seems like maybe it's not actually true, not actually something that would happen by this point. We haven't seen a justification for it. But again, all this stuff is just to show how Rhaenyra has become completely unhinged.
Man, when she grabbed her face, that was wonderful unhingedness. That was like, holy smokes. And I wrote in the notes, I just wrote, it's over for Team Black when I saw that. Oh,
she says, Rhaenyra says to Baela, insolence runs in your blood, as your sister has lately reminded us.
Ice cold.
So mean. And then, Bubba, then she goes to the Sept, which we know is going to be a great idea, right? Sure. She's like, look, enough of this. I've been told I don't need it, but I'm going to go out there. And what's great is that first of all, she just kills the high priest. There's not a whole lot of talk. There's not even like a threat of like, look, do you want to anoint me, or do you want your backup to now be the high priest? She just gets it done. And Bubba,
oh man,
what is crazy? Alan kills him.
Yep.
I mean, and then she comes out to the people and gives a speech.
Oh boy.
Like you said, even the people on the dais are like, I don't believe what I am hearing. Bubba, this is so funny because this would have been funnier, but maybe too far. She says before his death, and I thought for sure she was going to say, before his death, the high priest anointed me as. But it was not. It would have been great if she did it. She said, before his death, my father, the Viserys, the peaceful, named me as heir, not in secret, but in ceremony. She said her reign was ordained and prophesied with the doom.
Oh, boy.
If your world is to survive, I must light the way. And then, perfect, Bubba, because everyone completely understands it. She says in High Valyrian, I am the prince that was promised. Wowza, Bubba.
Si se puente. I mean,
como se dice, prince?
Oh my gosh. Now, let me say, listeners, I have a feeling a lot, if not most of you, have been Team Black and Team Rhaenyra. Go girl, we love you. She has real quickly lost the script, man. Is that the saying? I mean, we need more. She's lost the plot. Excuse me. She's kind of like, oh my God.
What's interesting too is, and what's funny is she does look, and I think this is brilliant that they did this. When they make her up to go out, she looks different.
Yep.
She definitely looks a lot harder and a little weirder than she does most of the time. So this is like we see a physical transformation of her, and even though there's only a very little makeup, it definitely makes her look different. I would say the one thing that's different here is, at the beginning of, I think it was in the very first episode, I said, are people going to be upset because they're making her look inept and a little bit out of it? Well, Bubba, unlike what you're talking about earlier, Daenerys, they have been building this throughout the season. So even if you didn't like it in the first episode,
Yep.
you have seen the transformation. They have, unlike the other things I felt like were not earned, from where she was at the beginning of the season to where she is at the end, we have seen that grow in a very natural way where you're just like, yeah. Where again, as I said last week, Lady Catfish, who quote unquote who watches this with me and never says anything and barely pays attention, last week was like, she gone nuts. She's losing it.
Catfish, I don't know makeup, but I'm pretty sure the stuff that people put on their eyelashes is called mascara. And somehow, like the black of her eyelashes was on her eyelid, and she looked great.
Well, what happened was they had a dot in the center below, a dot in the center above, and a dot in the center below, and it was enough to make you go, woof. If your ruling choices are like your makeup choices, we in some serious trouble.
I'm telling Mother.
We covered both of the teams this week. So, Bubba, this is it.
Toughest,
you talk about it. You've got to pick it. Team of the week, either the team you think is winning or the team that you're on the side. Last week, you lean in. You're like, this whole time I found Green more interesting, and finally they're winning. So that means I'm winning. Bubba is winning. Bubba, who is your team of the week this week? You got green or black. In the past, we have picked some individual people as a team.
Yeah.
We've learned we're not going to do that anymore.
No.
It's green or black, Bubba.
Green or black.
It's a tough one this week. Who do you got?
I'm going to go roundabout, and I apologize, listeners, to pick my team. I had the most difficult day today at work. We had servers crash. I was dealing with people in 3 different television markets. So maybe I'll go too much into my work. It was tough. And I just thought, would someone please give me a golden parachute so I don't have to work here anymore? So for giving out golden parachutes, I'm joining Team Black so I can be sent to Pentos with enough gold for a man's. I'm on Queen Rhaenyra's team. Let's go. Heck
Love it, Bubba. Only if you're the one sent out of town. Otherwise,
I know
it's not great.
Please.
Bubba,
how about you, Catfish?
Well,
you have always said that you can only pick Team Black or Team Green. You've never broken that rule.
That is correct. And that is why this week, I can actually break this rule because I've never broken it before.
Wait, what?
Bubba, for bringing sanity and justice to this fight and ending the battle early. As I said earlier, it's Team Ulf this week. He's the only one on his team. Well, him and his fire-breathing dragon. And so Ulf wins Team of the Week. He's the only one who is feeling better about himself after this fight than before the fight.
Dude, where do you go if you're Ulf?
That's what I said
before.
Where do you
go? Your team.
I don't know.
Your team. Where are you going?
I don't know.
Oh my
I don't know. I can only say to themselves, there are those people who join the military, they become special forces, and then when they get out, they join these horrible companies that do horrible things in other parts of the world. I can only think Toph is like, have dragon, will roast for money.
Catfish, it just came to me what Ulf should do. Now, I don't know how much of Seinfeld and Larry David you're a fan of, but in Seinfeld, there was an episode where George quit, and then he gets back to Jerry's place, and he's like, oh my God, why did I quit my work? And this was based on a true Larry David story where he quit, and he realizes, oh, I need health insurance, I need the job. And so what does he do? He just goes back into the work the next day and pretends that it didn't happen. Do you think Ulf could show up in Queen Rhaenyra's castle next episode and be like, hey, I'm here checking in. Like you said, can't go to the tavern. Everything good? Hello? Am I here? Oh my God.
No, I think after his treatment from Daemon, the only thing he can do is say, well, my dragon went a little sheep stealer on me.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay,
I don't know. He still doesn't get what he wanted, which is to have the power and respect and drinking that he gets. So I think he's gonna go private contractor, Bubba.
Well, okay, who wanted a dragon and was upset they never got a dragon? Lady Jane Eyre in the Vale, Ulf and Lady Jane. Let's make that hot match couple. My MVP catfish is Prince Joffrey.
I'm telling Mother.
Queen Rhaenyra is riding in her litter towards the sept. She looks out the window and she says, "Queen of Bastards." And what does she immediately do? Look at her son with his strong features, if you know what I mean. Strong boys. And for that, and for learning, I mean, the kid is how old is he at the most? 10 or 12? He
Something
already
like
knows the prophecy about the prince who was promised. This kid has more knowledge than any kid has. MVP Prince Joffrey, let's roll.
Well, I mean, the way her kids are dropping, she should bring them all together and explain them just so that Joffrey doesn't have to explain it. Joffrey's like, all right, well, I heard this story. I don't know. There's some sort of something, bad danger. I don't know. Figure it out. All right, Bubba, my MVP of the week. I had to stop my... No. That was my team of the week.
Oh,
was Team Ulf. Oh. My MVP of the week it's a tentative MVP.
No, bro.
Okay. Mysaria for some reason decides to stick around. If she does eventually get the F out of town to live that sweet, sweet life in Pentos, she's my tentative MVP.
Aw. Yeah, you know what? Why not go? Why not go? I mean, I guess once again you're leaving all your friends and family and the small folk who you claim to care about.
You mean her friends, like her friend that reamed her out last week?
I'm telling Mother.
All right, next. What's our next segment?
Our next segment is the instant or delayed karma of the week, Bubba, and we've got a great listener suggestion. It is Pat Man who gives the instant karma award to our boy Ormond Hightower for shrewdly recruiting Ulf, who is tired of being beaten up in the street, but then beating Ulf up in the street before ordering Ulf the Dragon Lord onto an incredibly destructive dragon.
Whoops.
Also, Roddy spraying blood into Ormond's mouth was A+. I'm glad Ormond's sensitive nature paid off for that gag, Bubba.
Oh.
And you know what?
What?
You won't find me often disagreeing with Pat Man. So I completely agree. It is Ormond for the instant / delayed karma of the week, Bubba.
No.
Speaking of week, what's your weak answer for this question?
It's the High Septon. He said, I have a many-faced god. And Rhaenyra said, well, you've got a one-stomached god, and stabbed him right in the stomach with Alan's sword. So that is my karma.
I'm telling Mother.
Okay. All right. I completely buy that, Bubba. So now we've got to go. You got to take your earrings out and put them in the dish / bowl.
Yeah.
Bubba, it's a small council debate. Can anyone be for Team Black or Team Green after this season? We've seen horrors on both sides.
Yes.
You know, in Game of Thrones, there was a crew that we were like, yes, we want the people that don't push little children out of windows and behead cool dudes. We want those people to win. Bubba, this seems to be a different situation. We've got just horrible people on both sides now. So what do you say? What do you say, Bubba? Can anyone, especially you, who's like secretly in his heart the whole time been for Team Green, you're like, I don't care how horrible they are. They do some cool shit. So, Bubba.
Yes.
Can you be, I'll just ask, because forget Team Black, you don't care. Can you still be for Team Green after this season?
Yes, 100%. Daron is great. Daron didn't kill anybody. Gwaine is trying to find a way to end this. That's wonderful. look at Bold John. Bold John beat the crap out of Daemon. I've been wanting somebody to beat the crap out of him. That's 3 members of Team Green. Let's go. There's Aegon and Aemond, who are also there. Team Green.
Yeah. How great are Aegon and Aemond? The ones who have actual real big dragons instead of the dragon that Daeron's got, and nobody to follow Daeron or Gwaine that's left. Bubba?
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's hear it. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say I can be for Team Black.
Whoa.
Now, just as you have said I can be for Team Green by picking people who are completely unlikely to be in charge here, running the kingdom for Team Green, I definitely I can definitely root for Team Black, Bubba, because I'm going to spin my own fantasy, and that is all hail from Team Black, King Joffrey.
Yeah, there we go. Hell yes. Yes, everybody's on that team. Hell yes. Listeners, do you still gravitate toward the characters you've been with from the beginning? Which team are you rooting for in the final season coming up just 2 short years from now?
I'm telling Mother.
Reach out and let us
Please.
know.
Somebody come up with actual good reasons for rooting for their team as opposed to the reasons Bubba and I came up with. All right, Bubba, it is time for House of the Dragon match game 2. I noticed that you did not dare to go for 3 weeks in a row with the double blank. But Bubba, this is still a great one. I'm so proud to be associated with this game. So I will read it, and then I'll do the music. And again, I do the full music after we read it the first and second time. All right. While some in the realm use the phrase, "It's 5 o'clock somewhere," when 'tis time to drink, Sir Ulf the White uses his own phrase, blank. All right, here we go, Bubba. First for you. While some in the realm use the phrase, "It's 5 o'clock somewhere," when 'tis time to drink, Sir Ulf the White uses his own phrase, blank.
He uses his own phrase, "Let's get lit."
Oh, that is a good one. That's a good one. All right, Bubba, read the full thing and I will give you my answer.
While some in the realm use the phrase, "It's 5 o'clock somewhere," when 'tis time to drink, Sir Ulf the White uses his own phrase,
"It's 5 o'clock everywhere."
Hell yeah.
All right, Bubba. Yeah. Oh, all right, instead of that phrase, Sir Ulf the White uses the phrase, Cam Shea says, "It's murder o'clock somewhere." So good. And Dr. Dead Fink says, "Life is short, drink early."
Yes. The Uncle Q says Sir Ulf's phrase is, "Battle before beer, you're in the clear. Beer before battle, you'll hit the saddle."
Oh my God, I love that. And Orange Cane of Blue Sky, another great one, does a triple D, Bubba.
Triple D?
Drink, drank, Dracarys.
Oh no, Hamlet is dead, gave his answer really like he's Ulf. You ready? Ulf's phrase is, "I can't read, let alone tell time, so frack it. Let's drink."
Bubba, this is close enough to yours. Let's give it a ring of the bell. Link Hogthrob says his phrase is, "Let's get turned." Oh my God. Excellent. Patman pulls a Incredible Hulk allusion when he says that Ulf says, "You wouldn't like me when I'm sober."
You don't like him when he's drunk either.
Nicole at Nightwolf Nim says his phrase is, "It's Dracarys to everyone."
Yes. Oh no. What is Carol Joseph? Carol Joseph's trying to get us some sponsors for the podcast. She says, Ulf's phrase
is "PBR me ASAP" or "It's Miller time."
Hell yeah.
Dennis Christos, this is a good match because he says it's 8 o'clock.
Oh, Celine. Celine is very specific. Elf's phrases. You know, that dragon, Silverwing listens to me. Hand over that ale. Oh, no.
Mr. Bill's Mafia, I love what he does with this. You know, some people have used the fire illusion. Some people have used the 5. He makes a combination because he says Ulf's phrase is, it's 5 o'clock everywhere. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, and SN agrees with me. Exactly. SN says it's 5 o'clock everywhere, but adds correctly, because I have a dragon. Very
good. Jeff Pirro says, Ulf's phrase is, drink until you can't tell the difference between green and black.
And Nick Fortuna says, break out the honey mead for this sweet-ass dragon seed. It's time to get white girl wasted.
Oh, yeah. And our final one from our good buddy Mark Studebaker, who says Ulf's phrase is, it's not a proper night until I've passed out on the privy. Yes.
Oh, yes. All right, Bubba. We have got some feedback for episode 8. And again, this is from our good old friend Patman. Yeah. Patman says, whoa, what a great night for Team Green with Aegon patching things up with Aemond. And, well, Team Green didn't kill any popes, so that's good for them. Wasn't all great for them. R.I.P. Helaena. He said, kind of a rough night for Team Black with Ulf going rogue, Rhaenyra's stepdaughters not having the best relationship with her, Alan and Adam not seeing eye to eye, and Corlys being a valuable hostage, Tumbleton totally wrecked, and Hugh the Hammer losing his wife in the process. Although Team Black does have their hands on Corlys again, so everyone who bugged Rhaenyra that Corlys would be killed by the Greens need to apologize to her, or maybe just stay out of her presence now that she's embracing her Sauron era.
Oh, man. Well, Catfish, did you like how my buddy Patman agrees with me? It's good to be Team Black. We got more feedback on this specific episode. Cam Shea gave the finale 9 out of 10. She said it was an intense episode. All sides are so murderous. Villains galore. The bad, sad, dead kids. Helena's jump. Hugh's dead wife. Daemon's fighting skills need some work. Ulf, the untrustworthy, killing.
Oh, that is a great new name for him.
She said the good Ormond. Catfish, say it.
Here you go.
No dragon deaths. She likes that. Great action question. Who will Hugh blame for his dead wife? That is a great question, Catfish.
Wow.
You went there, once again, kind of committed treason by leaving his post, went to Tumbleton to save his wife. He gets there. She's dead. Who do you blame?
I mean, I think you blame everybody. You blame everybody you can stay in contact with. I don't know whether it's going to be whether he can find Ulf or not. So this is what I want to ask Cam Shea. This is perfect because she loved everything. She's like villains galore. Yeah. So which team is Cam Shea on moving forward?
I can't wait.
It because Cam Shea is like, I don't care. I'm just rooting for villainy, which I love.
Oh, wait
so
a minute.
Who are you rooting for? Yeah, tell me.
I just realized something. You said Ulf was on his own. He's the only person who has pissed off both sides. You know who's going to join Team Ulf, who's upset both sides? Sheep Stealer.
Oh, man. Sheep Stealer doesn't seem to really like anybody.
Well, we had this feedback from Monique, who said, Catfish, why would you say Sheep Stealer needs to be put down? The dragon just gets overstimulated with all that fussing. Do you agree with Monique that Sheep Stealer can live and let live?
Is that what Sheep Stealer did when they were having the big battle in the ocean, when basically Sheep Stealer almost took down the Triarchy, but definitely took down all the sea snake ships? Was that overstimulation? I guess.
It's one way to end the war, like you said.
Yeah, right. All right, Bubba, we got some feedback on episode 7. Let's go through that.
Geo Ninja wrote, I thought Rhaenyra wanted Alinda, meaning her handmaiden, to stay with her because Daemon, when he's in that room, he's without limits. Alinda, her handmaiden, is her only real friend now. Boy, are they still going to be friends after this episode? Great question, Geo Ninja.
I don't know. And Conrad Conrado says, I need to admit this episode 7 was best out of all. 9.7 out of 10.
Whoa.
As I was very negative about the show, this episode made my day. The dragons fight. Wow. Seems Sheep Stealer's not dead yet. Hopefully he will make some great comeback in the future. But then what Rhaenyra will tell to Daemon, you're supposed to take care of him, and how is it possible this dragon is still alive? More trouble for our uncle, niece, husband, and wife pair.
Hey, Dr. Detfink loved episode 7 because of all the in-house fighting. Massaria or Lady Carla Marx manipulating Rhaenyra for the people at council meeting while working hard to undermine Daemon in Rhaenyra's bedchambers. Well, it only didn't last the second episode. Detfink says King Aegon II, a.k.a. Lord Two-Face, was the highlight. Blink and you'll miss Larys taking off. I have some ladies' feet to attend to. Ormond playing Texas Hold'em and flipping 2 dragon riders, knowing those unfulfilled promises will not come home to roost or will come home to roost. So good. Dr. Detfink ends by saying the season finale will be a bonfire of the vanities in Westeros. And it really kind of was that. Great.
All right, and Shirley says the dragons are amazing. Love seeing all of them. Their fighting is so painful to watch, though. Poor Sheep Stealer. She was living her best life alone and happy. And some entitled rich teenager roped her into trouble, and she's the one who gets destroyed for trying to protect that damn teenager. That is completely right, Bubba.
Dang. Black-eyed Lily. Susan Stacy said, hey, I had not made the connection between the episode title of episode 7, The Dragon in Winter, with the classic film, The Lion in Winter, until host Bubba said it. Now I'll be thinking about the connections to that story. So it was family infighting. It was Henry II's family fighting the 3 sons. They all wanted to be named heir. But this is also how the Dance of the Dragons is supposed to be loosely based on the anarchy period of English history, which was fought by Henry's mother, Matilda, and her cousin Stephen. Even though Matilda was her father's named heir, the English couldn't consider the idea of a queen ruling the country. Hello. The final compromise was Stephen would remain king until his death. At that point, Henry went to the throne. Wow.
Awesome feedback. And from Dennis Christos says, I think bold Jon Roxton is Ormond's inner circle of one, and he's in every facet of his lord's plans. Speaking of, do you think the writers will have to integrate the events of both the Battle of Tumbleton into the season's finale? I suspect they will, simply out of necessity, because they can't do a repeat of pushing yet another major battle to the beginning of the final season.
Oh, careful there with spoilers, Dennis, but great point. iBarf24, who gives us feedback on Silo as well, said about episode 7, the fool Queen Rhaenyra strikes again, crying for most of the episode instead of thinking on her feet after understanding the situation. That's painful. She says, iBarf is just upset. And they say, I really don't know how anyone can still get any surprise or enjoyment out of this. Oh no, the creators have taken the ship to such a small place. It feels like one of my mom's Spanish telenovelas with a gigantic budget. Oh man, I hope you like this one, iBarf.
Oh man, and also here's another, just to push back on me because I was so mean last week.
Yeah.
She also, this iBarf24 was also upset that Rhaenyra tries to kill my boy, poor little sheep stealer.
There you go. Stax Francis wrote, I think the blacks will go bad and burn Tumbleton. Well, kind of.
I mean, the burning.
You're right.
Sure.
Stax Francis wrote, the small folk will turn on the queen. That's going to happen after that speech.
Yeah.
Which will lead to the small folk rushing the throne room, which will get them burnt by Helaena like in her dream. Oh, no.
Whoa.
Helaena didn't want to do that, and she took
All right.
Oh, boy.
Ronald Bolton said, this is again about episode 7, I'm not so sure about Team Green.
Wait,
one you loved, Bubba, last. When word gets out that Aegon is alive and well and roasting the Mootons with his also alive dragon, Sunfire, you now have 3 different factions. Aemond, Darren, and the anointed king Aegon. Yep. You have just as many problems developing as with Team Black. And if the Ormond-Ulf situation is likely to be fleeting, since Ormond hates both the common people and the Targaryens, and Ulf is both, and even worse, he's a bastard Targaryen. Not sure that's any better than the squabbles with the Team Black. Time will tell. Love your coverage, guys. What do you think now, Ronald, this is one thing that I was concerned about last week. Team Black would be in such a bad situation that it would just be a fight between Aegon, Aemond, and Darren. Now Darren doesn't seem to want it, and Aegon's got Aemond under his thumb. Now, Wendy Mills says 9 out of 10 for episode 7. Wow. And for match game 1, I believe Alan received a double F.
A double F?
A foreboding finger.
That's true. Okay.
Sylvie was their MVP of the week with her wonderful lines of dialogue. And for match game 2, I think that Aemond has 2 women in his life. One for shits and the other for giggles. Bubba,
yeah.
There are only 8 episodes left in this entire series, Bubba. We won't talk about this for 2 years. I don't know if you want to talk about it anymore. Whatever you tell me in the next few minutes, I'm going to completely forget in the next 2 years, along with everything I just said in the previous 70 or 80 minutes. So, Bubba, what do you want to say about the wait for season 4? Season 4, anything. What do you got to say?
We don't talk about the books too much on this podcast. We had a special book section 2 podcasts ago where I said, okay, these are the number of named characters who have to die by the end of the series to reach the point. 3 are gone, meaning Helaena, Ormund, and Roddy the Ruin. If you remember how many are left, I'll just say it's double digits. There are double digits characters to go through, 8 episodes left. Get ready for some devastation, and hopefully this series will end on a dream of spring.
All right. With that mysterious last statement, which means something to book readers, clearly, but not to me.
Good.
I will say my name is Catfish. You can hit me up at G to the man. That's GEETOTHEMAN on Instagram and Blue Sky.
My name is Bubba. You can find me on all social media at Fit and Trim, FITTENTRIM, at Fit and Trim on social media.
And we'll talk to you 2 years from now. No, we'll talk to you before that for Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So until that time, we will talk to you next time on the Joffrey of Podcasts.
I'm telling Mother.
Team Green.
Ulf. How about Ulf and Mysaria?
Oh, that would be a power
they
couple.
set up in Pentos. She's got her own money. Yeah. He hires himself out. And come on. Listen, they're looking after this show. They'll be looking for another Game of Thrones show.
Yeah.
Ulf and Mysaria, the Wonder Years.
How about Love Island?
I'm telling Mother.